Hello, welcome back to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. This is a 2,000 point match, Battle for the Pass. Orcs and Goblins versus my Wood Elves. So from my left flank here, we have a Great Eagle, 12 Dryads with Branch Wraith. Branch Wraith has the Murder of Spites and Cluster of Radiance to get +1 to casting, dispelling, and then a little bit of extra attacking power. Another Great Eagle, another 12 Dryads. Both Dryads have a champion just in case I need to jump. I have 19 Glade Guard right there in the middle. They're completely unpainted. Nothing special. Champion and Musician. Another 20 with flaming attacks and a BSB that has the Hail of Doom arrows. 5 Glade Riders in the back. I have 10 Wild Riders and my Noble on a Stag with the Dawnspear and a little bit of defense and a potion of strength. And that's my army. I took no Treekin, no casting, a little bit of magic defense, and the goal was just get in there. I have armor piercing attacks with my Wild Riders, and I figure if I can get everyone in there, particularly on the flank, I can do a fair bit of damage. So here are my opponents. Here is my opponent. From his left flank, on the far side here, we have a boar chariot. In the back there's 7 trolls, which he only has 6 models, so the 7th is not here. 30 orcs, a massive horde of 50 Savage Orc Big Uns, Savage Orc Big Uns, and then 2 big units of goblins, and then another boar chariot. This bit in the middle is a Temple of Skulls, this hill, and it's a haunted mansion or something. So if he ended his phase, he'd take damage, and I think he wounds 1 orc, but it doesn't really matter. I'm really happy with this setup. He's got both of his orcs and goblins both of his goblin units right next to each other, so I can send out pretty easily and disrupt if he has any fanatics. But he's then also march blocking himself and taking out his biggest, baddest unit, which is fine by me. So he wins first turn. He finished deploying first, got +1, wins first turn, and moves up not too much, mostly the stuff in the middle. Here, nothing squabbled the whole game, so that does not come into play. But he moves up here pretty cautiously, and I'm perfectly fine with that. This is my view, looking in on him, seeing the hordes coming at me through the forests. I'm pretty happy with how I am. I'm going to send up, my game plan is to shoot at his trolls and his chariot with my flaming attacks on the my right flank, and then move up here, drop the fanatics. As you see, I send my eagle out here. He flies out to the middle, 8 inches from both, so all fanatics come out. He throws out a few. One hits, my eagle goes through and just disappears, leaving my eagle with 1 wound left. Another goes just in front of himself, and the other 2, rather than send them all right there and then have it be a total cluster, he tries to throw the other 2 out at my archers, but as you can see, they don't get terribly far. And then I believe the near one here even bounces back through himself and kind of hurts himself, lands up in the water and takes out a bunch of goblins. And so my opponent, who I play a lot, Hattie, he's realizing that it's tough to use the fanatics against me when I can just throw an eagle in there. So here's an overview of the whole board after I've moved forward. In the last one, I moved my vanguard up with my Glade Guard and pulled them back. I moved forward a little bit here with my archers. One thing we realized that you're not allowed to volley shoot if you've moved. So from now on, I will no longer make that mistake. But the first 2 rounds we played without realizing that, and so we moved in all previous games. We played that way too, so that was a mistake on our part. But anyhow, I come up here, I start shooting. I don't think I wound the chariot and don't cause it to flee. I bring my second eagle up here into the flank of this chariot out of his charge arc, just so I can get in behind his ranks and see what kind of havoc I can wreak. I leave my dryads back so nothing can charge me, but they move fast enough and they're agile enough that I can move them around. I'm pretty comfortable here. So coming into turn 2, he has continued to move his stuff forward. He sends his goblins up forward in the middle. He's charged into my eagle with his chariot. He's leaving my eagle all alone out here, and he's moved up with all of his other units. He can't move up too far with his big unit of Savage Orcs in the middle because of the Fanatic, although maybe in retrospect he could have just taken the hits. He unloads 30 shots with one of his hordes of goblins. Needed 6s and 6s to hit me and ended up wounding 1. He does Foot of Gork on my Wild Riders and indeed is able to take out several of them, which was really painful and frustrating. And but that's okay. I think he even killed 5. But luckily I'm immune to psychology. Not too phased. At the end of combat, somehow I survive all of the impact hits. I do 1 wound back on him, and I don't take any wounds. I survive. I stick around. I then am able to reform, and I turn to face him. So now I'm facing him with my eagle. It was by far the coolest war eagle I've ever had, ever in any game. So my turn 2, I'm able to flank charge him back, which I should easily be able to win. And that's great for me. I'm very happy there. I fly my other eagle in behind to march block and just get in and be able to do pretty much whatever I want. He's got a BSB goblin on a wolf. His general's a Savage Orc on a boar, and he's got a level 2 Orc caster in there. So these guys move up. I shoot. I kill 2 trolls. I do 2 more damage to one of the others, and do quite a bit of damage here. I'm very happy with that. All the flaming attacks are wonderful. And so coming into turn number 3, he's starting to charge me. This is where things start to get pretty interesting. I'm able to shoot at down a bunch more trolls. Flaming Hail of Doom Arrows does a lot of damage, which is just excellent. Totally caught him off guard. You can see here he's charged me, my dryads with his goblins. The way we played it, he came into contact, had to reform. He's charged my eagle with his Savage Orcs. You can see here the results. He only has 3 trolls left. Coming into this combat, I lose combat clearly. I mean, he's clearly outnumbered me, but this is one of the fantastic times that Steadfast comes into play. But having my flaming attacks is really wonderful because it negates his regeneration and causes fear. You can still see he does quite a bit of damage and kills my BSB. So he's just lying on the ground afterwards, trying to protect his body. His goblins have charged in, and I've been able to do quite a bit of damage. Up to now, they've been sticking around, but that's soon to end. Of course, he defeats my eagle. My eagle cannot hold out to a horde of Savage Orcs. And having stuck around steadfast, I am able to countercharge in my turn, come into the flank here with my general's unit of the trolls and into the front of the chariot with my glade riders. My eagle here charges in the flank of these orcs, which might look ridiculous, and if it wasn't for his character in there, I had a fair chance. Being in the river, he does not get any rank bonuses and cannot be steadfast. So that would have been fantastic if I had taken him out. So here's, but it didn't happen. So there's a big overview of the board. Clearly, I'm able to win this. He's got 1 troll left who flees. He flees with his chariot, but I try to hold with my archers. I figure I'll catch with my glade riders. I do not, but I hold my archers and I reform with my general's unit. I defeat the goblins and I reform with my archers, so I'm out of charge range, and then I move my dryads forward so they're completely in the forest and right in front, charge blocking his big unit of Savage Orcs. The Savage Orcs are savage, clearly, by name, and they have to charge me. And by some miracle, one survives. I'm so happy, and being skirmishers in the forest, I am stubborn, and I stick around, which is wonderful for me. So, in my turn, I'm able to shoot down the lone remaining troll, which gets me a ton of points. I charge the chariot with my Glade Riders, and I can't remember exactly how this happens, but I think after a couple of rounds, I end up beating him. And you can see what happens here. I flank charge with my Dryads on this side, my Glade Guard, and my General's unit on the other side, and this slowly begins the War of Attrition. He cannot reform to face me or do anything like that because I've got him on two sides, and he doesn't get to attack in ranks anymore. And so I'm able to just really focus a ton of stuff. I challenge a bunch of guys down. I kill his general, which was a big gamble on his side, but it was worth it, I guess, but it didn't work out. And that sort of sealed his doom. With that unit, that goes on slowly. He moves his orcs up here, and oh, so there you go. There's the chariot beat my Glade Riders, which makes a lot more sense. He moves these guys up. I shoot at them, and just this turn 5, I just keep whittling him down bit by bit. He's killed my Dryads in front, but that's it. He's now down to 3 ranks plus a back rank, so I think that's 5 guys, so it's a full rank. Now he's down to 2 ranks and a back rank, and it just keeps going like this. My turn 5, we're about to come up to his turn 6, and I'm not certain if it's his turn 6 or my turn 6, but we come to this point and whittle him very far down. I think at this point he ends up breaking and running, and we pretty much call the game here. On the far side, the archers and the orcs are going to fight it out for a little bit, but that's his chariot cannot get into combat because he can't get around. He can't see me around his own unit, and I end up breaking and killing his general and his biggest unit, and that pretty much seals the game for me. We did not even bother tallying up points, but it was pretty good. I'm really happy with this list. It's dynamic and fun, and it made for a very interesting game. Thank you for watching.